Hey guys, this AJ with Best DIY. I have a 2002 Accord, 4-cylinder, and I have a P128 code right here for the temperature not reaching quick enough. So normally sometimes it's the thermostat here, or in this case we have already changed that. The second problem on these is this. If you see under the distributor, we have the temperature coolant sensor. On the 6th generation earlier years, there are two. One on this bolt is for the gauge, temperature gauge. On this year, this is just one, so we're just going to change that. On earlier years, you're going to change the behind one, not the first one. So put the pan under it, so some coolant might leak. We're going to remove this distributor cap. So there are 3 bolts here, 7mm, and remove this bracket, 12mm. So these two are easy to find, but there's one under here is hard to see, but you can feel it. So I'm gonna use this screwdriver. First I'm gonna use the drill. And then I'm gonna use this, and you can press the hose from the top. You can press this hose down to put that screwdriver in. So I'm rotating it right here, right there. So now the front one, same way, the rear is open. So the distributor cap is off. You might have to push this in a little bit. Now we're going to use a 12mm to open this bracket for the harness. Now this is off. Now there's a tab on the rear, and pry it with the screwdriver, flathead. So if you see here, the tab is right here. So you're just gonna press this and pry it right here. This is kind of in the rear. So this is the Honda part number. I highly recommend use that one, because in the past I've used this, and this was the original one with the deep socket. As you've seen, this broke off, and this was the part, and it was giving the similar code. On these Hondas, especially the electrical parts, I would highly recommend use the OEM. So we're gonna use a box wrench, but offset, 19mm. So don't use a deep socket, use this offset one. So now we have a good access. So have this one ready. Some coolant might leak, but don't worry about it. KC1W. This is the OEM one. The one in there is aftermarket, so I have that already loose. So I'm gonna just plug this one, unscrew it, and plug the other one in. So don't worry about the coolant, we can always fill it back up. So some coolant leaking, so this is the new one in. Take your time, don't panic. So you'll see the magic for this offset box wrench. Makes it so easy. And then some people will say remove the whole distributor, so you don't need it. Just snug enough, not so much, because if you see a deep one, this will be in the way of the harness, so it will be in an angle, so this might break off and not work properly. So always I would recommend use something like this. And if something leaks from here, once you tighten it, it should be okay. A lot of time these are dripping oil too, so I would recommend using this electric connector cleaner. There's not much in there, but there's some definitely in there. And use some compressed air if you have any. And if you have some oil, you can always put some brake cleaner in this area. Mine was kind of clean. And use it so it can make a good connection. Reconnect it back. Put this 12mm bolt right here. So we have the distribution pewter cap back in. So we're gonna put the screw back.